Okay, hi. Welcome back to Learning Biology with me. Well, many of you kind of requested for me to do a lesson on Form 5, Chapter 1. So here I am. Okay, I hope this lesson is useful for you, and if it helps, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Well, YouTube actually told me that majority of you watching my videos are not my subscribers. So please go and subscribe, like, or share my channel, share my videos as much as you can. And those who are already my subscribers, thank you so much for your support, and please do continue. Okay, so done with that. All right, so today we will go on to chapter 1, okay, organization of plant tissues and growth, okay. And subtopic is 1.1, organization of plant tissue. So this is kind of a short topic, so I think we'll just finish it up very quickly. Okay, so the learning standard, as usual, we have to go into learning standard. Okay, the learning standard here is to communicate about the types of plant tissue and their main function. Okay, so there are few types of plant tissue. You must know what are they and their function. That's it. Okay, so we have a lot of keywords here. These keywords are for the whole chapter. So here today we are going to see until we'll look at pectin, lignin. Okay, we will look at ground tissue, epidermal tissue, permanent tissues. Okay, parenchyma, sclerenchyma, collenchyma. Actually, we also have that, vascular tissues. So all these things. Okay, so I hope you are ready to take notes. Please be ready. Yeah, so let's do this. Okay, so plant tissues. Now, plant tissues can be, oops, I lose my pen. Okay, so plant tissues can be divided, okay, into two. We have here the meristematic tissues and also the permanent tissues. Okay, meristematic tissue, we have the apical meristem and also the lateral meristem. Okay, what is apical? What is lateral? Okay, for example, if we have tree, okay, and then we have the shoots growing. Okay, so the part that is always growing, okay, the shoot, the tip of the shoot, and also the tip of the root. Okay, tip of the root and the tip of the shoot. This is apical meristem. Okay, whereas when the plant grows sideways, we call it lateral. Okay, so up and down, it is apical meristem, the shoot tip and the root tip. We will see this in subtopic 1.2, so don't worry much about it. Okay, and then lateral meristem is when the meristem grows sideways. Okay, where they undergo secondary growth. That one also we will see further in this chapter. Okay, so today we are actually going to concentrate on permanent tissues. Okay, we have three types of permanent tissues. Okay, we have epidermal tissues, ground tissues. Ground tissues includes parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Okay, and vascular tissues include xylem and phloem. So when I say vascular, you remember xylem and phloem. Okay, when I say ground tissue, we have the PCS. PCS, parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Okay, so if you look at this picture, you can see that every part of the plant, okay, the leaf, the stem, and the root, they all have the permanent tissues. Okay, they have the epidermis tissue, okay, epidermal tissue, and then they also have ground tissue, and they have vascular tissues. Okay, they have vascular in the leaf, in the stem, and also in the root. So that's what we are going to look at. Okay. Permanent tissues. Okay, so let's look at the epidermis first. Okay, the epidermis tissue forms the epidermis, which is the outermost layer that covers the stem, the leaves, and also the roots of young plants. Okay, so this is the outermost layer. Okay, so this tissue also covers the flowers, fruits, and seed. Okay, and the walls of the epidermal cells which are exposed to the air are normally covered by a waxy and also a waterproof coating. Okay, so this waterproof coating is called a cuticle. Okay, yeah, so if you can look at this picture here, okay, so this is a cuticle. This is a transparent layer, transparent waterproof coating. Okay, if let's say you get if you go out, you see a leaf, you can see the leaf is very shining, okay, like waxy kind of appearances. So that is actually the cuticle layer, okay, the transparent layer that gives it a waterproof effect. Okay, and then we go in with the epidermis. Okay, we will go into the epidermis. Okay, so most epidermal cells are flat, okay, and they have large vacuoles. Okay, they have large vacuoles. So this is the epidermis. Okay, this is the epidermis. They usually have, okay, large vacuole. Okay, all right. So the functions. Let's look at the function now. Cuticle. The cuticle, since it's a waterproof and all that, so it actually helps to prevent loss of excessive water through evaporation. Okay, and also protects the plant from mechanical injury. Okay, it also prevents invasion of diseases causing microorganism. Okay, and in roots, let me see what is next. Okay, yeah. So where was I? In roots. Okay. In roots, some epidermal cells have long projection called root hairs. Okay, we have root hairs. So this is how root hairs look like. Okay, if you look here, this is a normal cell, normal plant cell in the root. Okay, it has a projection like, which is called hair. Okay, you will see this in the next subtopics. Okay, how actually they differentiate into the root hair cells. Okay, the cell differentiate, they become specialized. Okay, they grow into a different shape. Okay, for better function. All right, so this specialized structure increases the surface area for absorption of water and minerals. Okay, in the leaves, okay, the lower epidermis, they contain specialized cells called guard cells. Okay, so this is a guard cells, okay, which surrounds the stomata. I believe you have learned this in your science when you were in a lower form. Okay, so stomata is the opening where the transpiration takes place. Okay, evaporation of water and also the gaseous exchange. So there's an opening here in under the leaf. Okay, so yeah, so these cells in leaves, okay, they are called guard cells. Okay, and it surrounds the stomata. Okay, so we have that in the epidermis. Okay, done. Okay, next. Okay, now let's look at the ground tissues. Okay, so now ground tissues, we have the parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. I would just call them as PCS. Okay, if you can make any other abbreviation that you can for you to remember. Okay, so we have the PCS, the parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Okay, so the parenchyma, usually the soft one. Okay, they are more towards storage of the plants. Okay, as they act as a storage. But collenchyma, they are more flexible, a bit stronger than parenchyma. Okay, for support. All right, and then we have the sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma is even more rigid. Okay, much more stronger compared to parenchyma and collenchyma. Okay, so they actually helps to protect and also to support the plant. Okay, and they have a very thick cell wall. Okay, usually in higher plants. So yeah, we will look at it in detail. So parenchyma tissue, they consist of thin wall cells, okay, which are loosely arranged with spaces between them. So if you can look at parenchyma, so these are just examples. There are many kinds of parenchyma. This is all differentiated, but don't worry about it. Just look at this. Okay, this is the basic structure of parenchyma. Okay, so they are loosely arranged. They have a lot of spaces between them. Okay, and they can be found in all the organs of the plants. Okay, the function is that the parenchyma cell stores sugar and starch. Okay, sugar and starch. So when it is turgid, okay, it gives support to the herbaceous plant. Okay, and it also involved in the repair and the regeneration of plant tissues as well as the vascular system. Okay, so yeah, and the palisade mesophyll. Okay, the palisade mesophyll cells and the spongy mesophyll cells in the leaves. Okay, we have the you have seen this now in the diagram previously. If you don't know, you just go back to the diagram, the leaf diagram. You can see below the epidermis we have the palisade mesophyll and also the spongy mesophyll. Okay, so these are the part that are specialized. They have specialized parenchyma. Okay, they are the specialized parenchyma cells which carry out photosynthesis. Okay, all right, collenchyma. Now, collenchyma, there are also many types, but don't worry about it. Just look at the basic structure. You just need to know the basic structure here. Okay, so collenchyma tissue consists of elongated polygonal living cells with unevenly thickened cell walls. Okay, cell walls are not evenly thickened. So the cell walls are thickened by hemicellulose and pectin. Okay, hemicellulose and pectin are the structure in the cell wall that helps to give its shape. Okay, so since it is not regular and not evenly thickened, so this hemicellulose and pectin are the one that are responsible for it. Okay, but they are strong and flexible. What is the function of collenchyma? Okay, collenchyma cells give support and provide elasticity in herbaceous plants. Okay, herbaceous plants means the non-woody plants. Okay, and the young stems, leaf stalks, and also petioles. Okay, collenchyma cells are usually in the plants that do not have food. Okay, or basic vegetables that you have. Like, for example, if you're cutting coriander at home, okay, the coriander cuts easily. Okay, and you have that sound, that sound that means that's the collenchyma tissues, okay, in the cell. But if let's say you have sclerenchyma, then sclerenchyma is very difficult to cut. So whatever plants that is very difficult to cut, that is usually made up of sclerenchyma cells. But those are easily that we have the collenchyma. Okay, next let's look at sclerenchyma. Okay, this one you look at the sclerenchyma here. Okay, so the sclerenchyma tissues, okay, they are much more rigid than collenchyma cells, okay, because they have cell walls, okay, which are actually uniformly thickened by lignin. Okay, just now we see collenchyma, they are uneven, okay, but sclerenchyma, they are very even, okay, they are uniformly thickened. Okay, so they are made by lignin. What is lignin? Lignin is actually a complex oxygen-containing organic polymer, okay, that with cellulose, okay, with cellulose is actually forms the constitution of wood, the main constitution of food, which provides strength to the plant. Okay, so if you look at the picture here, okay, this is the cell wall of a plant. Okay, so we have the cellulose, hemicellulose, and also lignin. Okay, they are the parts that make up the cell wall. Okay, so usually lignin are used in paper production. Okay, so they are very important structure as well. So most of these plant cells are also actually dead at maturity, the sclerenchyma. Okay, so what is the function of sclerenchyma? Sclerenchyma actually helps to support and strengthen the plant body. Okay, basically that. But they also actually help in transport of water and nutrients in plants. Okay, so if you can look at the differences, okay. Alright, so if you can look at this picture, you look at parenchyma, they are bigger. Collenchyma, they have unevenly thickened cell wall. And then this is sclerenchyma, this is sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma, everything is evenly thickened. Okay, very strong. Okay, even in this picture, you can see the difference, the cross section, parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Okay, so they have this. The sclerenchyma also have the sclerates, okay, which provides the strength to the plant. Okay, yeah, so this is a microscopic view. Okay, if you look at the microscope, okay, of cells, you should be able to differentiate which is parenchyma, which is sclerenchyma, and which is collenchyma, besides finding the vascular tissues, the and the epidermal tissues. Okay, so parenchyma, you look at this is usually bigger, okay, and softer. Okay, so this is parenchyma. But the one that you're going to have difficulties finding is usually sclerenchyma and collenchyma. Okay, so here, look at this part here. This is the sclerenchyma. Okay, they are much more thicker compared to collenchyma over this area here. Okay, because collenchyma is unevenly thickened. Okay, so you have to be able. So there are many microscopic views that you can go through. I believe when you go to the lab, you can see the slides and you can differentiate between parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Okay, now let's look at vascular tissues. Okay, so vascular tissues we all have in all parts of plants. Okay, we have it in leaves, we have it in stems, and also in roots. So vascular tissues are actually continuous, okay, throughout the plant. Okay, that means from the root until the leaves, they are connected. Okay, they are connected, but the position of it is a slightly different. Okay, so yeah, and they consist of xylem and phloem tissues. Okay, now let's look at xylem. Um, Xylem tissues, okay, they consist of long and continuous hollow tubes. Okay, continuous hollow tubes. If you look at the picture, you can see they are made up of tubes. Okay, and the tubes are xylem vessels. We call them xylem vessels. Okay, and they are joined together from the roots to the leaves. Have you noticed veins in leaves? Okay, the veins in the leaves uh, is actually the vascular bundle. Vascular bundle consisting of xylem and phloem. So they are normally there. They flow from the roots to the leaves, okay, in one long tube. So the function of xylem is to transport water and mineral salts from roots to the stem and also the leaves. Okay, and xylem also provides support to the plants. Okay, phloem, on the other hand, is made up of living cells, okay, which are known as sieve tubes. Okay, sieve tubes. Where is the sieve tubes? Yeah, this is the sieve tube here. So this is also a tube, and they have the sieve plate here. Okay, so this sieve tube, okay, do not have any organelles such as nucleus and ribosome as they decompose at maturity stage. Okay, so they consist of sieves, the phloem, okay, also consists of sieve tubes which are arranged end to end, okay, to form a long continuous tube, also from the roots to the leaves. So the function, phloem tissue transport nutrients as glucose, okay, glucose from the leaves, okay, because leaves produces glucose or the nutrients through photosynthesis. So it transports this from the leaves to all the storage organs such as roots, stems, to the fruits, and also to the tubers. Okay, all right. So this is the differences. If you can look at the differences, okay, we have this is xylem and this is phloem. Okay, xylem, they are made of fibers. Okay, they have tracheids and also vessel member. Okay, the vessels. And then here we have the sieve plate. Okay, they have the sieve area, sieve tubes, and the sieve elements. So if you look at that, also made up of fiber. Okay, so if you can look at the difference, okay, the difference is the trachea and the sieve areas. Okay, so that is the difference that you can see between xylem and phloem. Okay, so this is the microscopic view of xylem, phloem, the vascular bundle, and also you can see the ground tissues, okay, permanent tissues, okay, in the stem. Okay, so I have here is dicot stem and also the unicots. Okay, so usually if you see this kind of arrangement, this is in the stem. Okay, this is the vascular bundle. Okay, this is the xylem inside, the phloem outside. Okay, but if in roots, you can actually see the xylem and the phloem. Okay, this is the xylem. Okay, and the phloem is outside here. Okay, if you see this kind of arrangement, this is the roots. Okay, but now I have here is xylem, stem. So you look at this. This is the vascular bundle. Okay, they have the epidermis, the outer part. Okay, and then we have the cortex after the epidermis. The pith is in the middle. Okay, usually made up of ground tissues. And then we have the sclerenchyma. Okay, sclerenchyma over near towards the vascular tissues to provide support. Okay, here also we have, you can see the cuticle is the outer layer followed by epidermis, and then we have a little bit of collenchyma. Okay, and then we have sclerenchyma here, and then we have parenchyma. Okay, and then the vascular bundle, the phloem and the xylem. Okay, don't worry about metaxylem, protoxylem and all that. Is actually under the category of xylem. So you must be able to identify all these in a cell microscopic view also. Okay. All right, so we have summative practice here, okay, from your textbook. Now, to differentiate now, figure 1 shows 3 examples of tissue which are found in plants. Okay, now, we have to identify tissue A, B, and C and state one characteristic of and function of each tissues. Okay, although tissue A given here, of course, this is not a ground tissue. Okay, this is actually a meristematic tissue, meristematic. Okay, they are growing, so we will ignore this for now because we haven't learned it yet. We will learn in the next chapter. So let's look at tissue B and tissue C. Okay, tissue B is what? What do you think tissue B is? It looks big, but it has uneven thickened cell walls. So we have here is Collenchyma. Okay, they are Collenchyma. So characteristics of Collenchyma is that the cell wall is made up of pectin. Okay, and function to provide mechanical support and elasticity to the plants. Tissue C will be, okay, if you look at that, you look at the red color, okay, they are very thick cell wall around it. Okay, so that is definitely Sclerenchyma. Okay, so they have a very thick cell wall. That's the characteristics. Function, okay, to provide support and mechanical strength to the parts of the mature plants. Okay, yeah, so we have it there. Okay, done with summative practice. So okay, so we are done with 1.1. Okay, so once we are done with this, you have learned, you have made your notes, you understand well. So please do formative practice 1.1. Okay, the answers will be given in the description box below. So once you're done, if you're okay with it, check your answers. All the best. Okay, so done. Okay, thank you for watching my video, and please, again, I'm repeating, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Bye bye.